Hey guys, Zach here, and welcome back to another edition of Jurassic June, and today we'll be taking a look at the Schleich Brachiosaurus. Now, this is the same figure that I had since I was a kid, and this was a figure that I had as a kid, but I wasn't really the biggest fan of it, you know? Even though, I liked it, I still didn't love it, but yeah. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's take a closer look at the painting on this figure. And the painting on this figure is not bad. So, most of the body is a tannish color, which looks nice. And we do have some brown stripes going down the neck to the tail, and some brown spots on the side right here. And as you can see, there are a lot of scuff marks on mine, which is unfortunate. But yeah, most of the brown color is on the head, and the eyes are painted black themselves. Underneath, we have a brighter shade of tan. And for the stomach, we have my first initial and my last name. And the reason why this is here is because, I don't get why, but whenever my mom, whenever I got a new dinosaur figure, my mom would always write my name under it. Because, in her defense, stutters, that was bad, I'm sorry. In her defense, she said that, if I lost it or something at school, then someone could just look underneath it and return it. Which sounds like a good idea, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure that kids, if I lost something like this, I'm pretty sure a kid's just going to take it. In fact, I kind of did that before in the past. One time in first grade, there was a toy dinosaur, and someone just left it there, so I just kind of took it. So, yeah, I kind of did that myself, so I kind of doubt that, the name thing isn't really going to work. Then again, there wasn't really a name under that specific dinosaur toy. And again, my mom's defense, my name is there, but again, I feel like there's going to be a kid that's just going to take this, with it nonetheless, but yeah. Anyway, other than that bit of history of my childhood, that about does it for the painting on this figure. And the painting on this figure is, to be fair, I like the painting on this figure. It reminds me a lot of a giraffe, and I really like the concept of dinosaur figures having more animalistic paint schemes, but that's just me. Again, all the scuff marks don't really take away from the painting on this figure, so yeah. Anyway, I think the painting on this figure is very nice, so the painting gets a pass. Now take a look at the articulation. There is none, so we're just going to get right into the sculpt. And the sculpt on this figure is very bad. Now, the body itself looks okay. The neck even looks alright. But the worst thing to me is just this head sculpt. That looks nothing like a Brachiosaurus whatsoever. It doesn't even look like, to me, it doesn't even look like any other type of sauropod. To me, it reminds me of that episode of SpongeBob with the giant worm, the Alaskan bullworm. That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me more of that than a dinosaur. But, yeah. Other than the head sculpt, I still think that the sculpting on this figure is still decent at best, so the sculpting gets a pass. Now take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure, not gonna lie, it's a little mediocre, so we'll take a closer look. Starting off with the head. And the detailing on the head looks alright. The teeth look decent. The detailing on the neck actually looks pretty good. And all the creases and whatnot continue down to the body. And once you get to the body, it doesn't look as good as the neck, but it still looks alright. The legs are detailed nicely as well. And the toenails there look good too. And yeah, most of the figure is covered in creasing and cracks and folds and whatnot, which is how every dinosaur figure should be. So, yeah. And that about does it for the detailing on this figure. Not awful, but not great either, so it gets a pass and a half. So, at the end of the day, should you get this? No. I'd say don't get this. This figure is not good at all. And it's not the company's fault. At the time it was, because this figure was made in a darker time. If you want an example of a newer Schleich figure, hold on one second. If you want a better example of a newer and better looking Schleich figure, here is one of their Carnotaurus figures, and this thing looks very nice. Not accurate, but it still looks a lot better than this Brachiosaurus here, so yeah. Also, something something else that's worth pointing out. This figure is more of a harder plastic, while this figure is made of rubber, which isn't bad. However, I do see the feet kind of warping over time, but yeah. I don't have a lot of Schleich figures. Actually, I think these two are like the only ones I have. Actually, no, I think I might add the Deinosuchus somewhere, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's basically enough of that. The Brachiosaurus itself, not the best. There are better Brachiosaurus figures to get. There are even better Schleich figures to get than this, so definitely skip out on this. It's not worth your money or time whatsoever. Again, this was one of my toys from when I was a childhood, but looking at it now, unfortunately, it's not great. So, if you want to know how big this figure is, here it is next to Dr. Billy Grant. Alright, now that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zach out.